At the T-minus 3-minute mark, tape recorders on board the spacecraft were turned on. These recorders record both voice and data. Ignition sequence start. Engine is now building up to 7.7 million pounds of thrust. We have a launch commit, and we have a liftoff. Moving back. The Saturn V lifting off with power.
This is WOMM LP operating out of Burlington, Vermont, 105.9 The Radiator. Good evening, it's the Rocket Shop. I'm your host, Tom Proctor, and with me tonight is Bella and the Notables. Hello!
Hi!
Hello! Very nice to see you. I feel like it's been a while since we've had like a full band, so seeing four of you in front of me is almost intimidating. Well, thank you guys all for coming in. How are you doing today?
Thank you. We're excited.
Yeah, we're excited to hear you. We like kicking it off with a song, so what have you got for us?
You want to do the new one?
Yeah.
We're going to do the two folky guitar ones first.
Alrighty.
Get you in the mood. Want me to start? This is by me. It's called I Never Thought I Could Lose You. I'm a little nervous. Okay. Life's put me through the test, and life's made me quite the mess, and I never knew I could lose you and still be me. Still be me. And life's put me through the ringer, but Mom made me quite a singer, and I never knew I could lose you and still be me. Still be me. Lose you and still be me. Still be me. If I could choose to care one thing, it would be how I used to sing. If I could have just one more day, I'd sing songs to you all day. Can't hold forever in our pockets. Can't hold forever in our tears. I never knew I could lose you, but I still be me. 'Cause of you, I still be me. 'Cause of you, I still be me. 'Cause of you.
I Never Thought I Could Lose You there by Bella and the Notables. Guys, that's a lovely way to start the show off. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
As there's an entire four of you, would you like to go around and introduce yourselves and tell us what you play? I have never seen these microphones in the middle of you guys before. Let's quickly.
should pick them up.
Oh, there we go. So yes, you guys
long
can
as
just
you speak up.
speak freely.
Andrew, go for it.
Hi, my name is Andrew Bedard. I play drums in the band. I'm the old guy in the band. Been playing for a little while and got picked up by this band a little over a year and a half ago or so.
Yeah.
And I've been really enjoying it since. So,
Fantastic. Well, nice to meet you, Andrew.
thank you.
And how about Keys?
I'm Sam Atala. I've been playing. I used to play with Bella sometimes on trumpet back in the day, probably like 5 or more years ago, and I've been playing with this group since last I don't know, July or August of 2021. So
Okay.
a little while.
Nice. And, well, pleasure to meet you, Sam. And how about on bass?
Yep, my name's Greg Rothwell. I'm playing fretless electric bass tonight. I normally play upright bass with the group, but we've been working out a different sound and just practicing these songs in a closer environment. And yeah, been friends with all of them, and Bill and I kind of just got them all together. Now we're a group.
So you two are the kind of the genesis of the band.
Yes, I reached out to Greg after COVID. Bell Notables has a little history, actually. We started right after I graduated college, and it was a much larger band. It was actually me and my good friend Preston Murphy, a guitarist, and I kind of put it together. We had sax, harmonica. It was really large, and we really did a lot in Montpelier and kind of central Vermont area. And then moved back up here with my partner right before COVID. And then COVID happened. And you all know what happened there with music. Everything kind of stopped. And right when things started getting going again, I reached out to Greg and was like, I'm really itching to start. And my guitarist, who started the Notables with me, actually moved to Seattle for grad school. So I was just kind of like, I think our time had ended with the other group. It'd been about 2.5 years. And I was like, Greg, let's get everyone in the same town and like just a quartet, and let's just kind of make this a more traditional jazzy thing and make it really accessible and see what we can do. And you were the one who was like, Sam and Andrew.
Yep.
Because they were your favorites.
First choices.
And like Sam said, he's a phenomenal jazz trumpet player, and he's been doing a lot with keys the last few years, and we fell in love with both of them. And yeah, so Bell Notables kind of took a turn, and that's what we've been doing for about, a year and a half. Yeah.
So this is kind of Bell Notables 2.0 in a way.
Yes.
Yep.
How different is it from the kind of like OG Bell Notables? Is it vastly different, or if you is it actually very similar? If you close your eyes and think hard enough, it could be.
You had a lot more horns, right?
Yeah, we don't have harmonica, we don't have sax. And I think I chose that because my problem is, as a soprano jazz voice, I was always too quiet, and it's always my issue. And I thought, if we just kind of tone it down to a quartet, and also accessibility. Can we get everyone in the same town? Get everybody, kind of close together and practicing and make things more easier logistically. And also, as we know, with funds and stuff like that, it just made everything much more easy to plan, to set up, and kind of more sustainable. So I kind of think, the quartet. And also, I do have a passion for piano. I can hear it better. There's something about it, like when I'm improvising and scatting, it's just my ear. I think maybe that's because I'm a piano player. I just started guitar like this year. But so that kind of was another, I wanted the piano to be kind of a 4-key for that. And which is cool because a lot of places we play have grand pianos. The Deli 126, the 126 has a grand piano. I just played at Hugo's in Montpelier. They have a grand piano. So yeah, there's just something with the voice and the piano that gets me.
Sam, despite the abundance of grand pianos in Vermont, do you miss picking up a horn?
I still play the horn.
Oh, you do?
And, I'm playing. This weekend I'll be playing, and more bands seem to require keys because I don't know, you can play like any genre, and I still love the trumpet. Whichever one I play less is the one I want to play, so it's kind of how it works,
You ever play piano and horn in one night? Are you ever like sitting there behind the grand piano and reach in?
Yeah, sometimes I play them at the same time. If like I play in a reggae band where it's like
same time, so like you're playing and tickling the keys at the same time.
Well, I'm in this reggae band and there's like a lot of organ parts. So once I start playing, like if I play in the verse or something and it goes into the chorus, like obviously the chorus usually comes up. Not all the time, but a lot of times. And there's a horn line I have to play, so it's like if I just stop playing the organ, it's going to sound like something got like the foundation got ripped out.
Right.
So I kind of just, by necessity, have to do it. It's not very good, but
he says it's not very good, but Sam's one of the most busy musicians in the town.
He's always busy.
The boys play.
We're lucky to have him.
Guy's got ADHD.
We are lucky to have him.
Can't stop during a song. You're always having to do something.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I've gotten a little better at it, but yeah.
I'd say that's a very impressive thing to be able to see it, even just to see someone to play trumpet or something while also be on a piano. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I won't do it tonight.
Well, Celavi. Bella, you yourself, long and illustrious career in music. when I was studying your bio, you do mention that you were songwriting before you could speak. So I would love to know what that sounded like. How did that even work? Were you songwriting nonsense? Was it just squiggles and only you knew how to sing?
Yeah, hopefully that's not an exaggeration. But yeah, I mean, I have a really musical family. As I mentioned before when we were setting up to the Sound Friends, my cousin was on the show as well, Johanna Rose with Lavengula. We were a really musical family. So I did grow up just like immersed in music. All of my cousins have like voices like angels and they all play something just really musical. And that's kind of how I grew up. It's just kind of been passed down generationally in our family. It's just a way that we kind of survive and live life. So I literally just grew up always kind of singing and humming and writing little ditties, and my grandma and my mom would write them down in little books. And then I started with my twin. I have a twin, Josephina. She also plays violin and flute and sings. We kind of just we're songwriting from the beginning. So I really think, yeah, I mean, my mom just said I was always just humming and kind of gibberishy singing, and I remember my first 2 songs too.
Oh no way!
Yeah.
Have you revived them at all? Have you brought them to the band and gone like, let's do a 2023?
Never know. It was about what's my baby gonna be, and it being a girl. Yeah, it had dance moves and it was on the porch. It was great. I had my cousins. Everyone was decked out. And the other one was about take me away to Carolina. Yeah, we had a band. It was called Triple Threat. Me, my twin, and my cousin
Had you
Helena.
been to Carolina at this age, or were you? Just
Oh my gosh, I haven't been.
You've never been even
still haven't.
Wait, I might have gone like for a dock once for a boat, like a cruise boat when I was in 8th grade. But no, yeah.
So you're just imagining this mystical land called
I was a
Carolina.
dreamy little girl, yeah. So I've always been, I grew up just songwriting little ditties. It's actually annoying. It's like all day I have little ditties that just come in my brain, and I have lots of books full of them, and they might not ever become anything. And luckily, you got to hear 2 of them today. But then I got really into jazz in college, and was like, this is a way I can play with other people, because I'm really primarily a singer. So I'm just trying to go back to that. It's really nice. So this is a great opportunity to really to do the little push to do some of those original songs. But a lot of them I don't think will ever.
See the light of day. I don't know. I mean, have you ever flipped through the books that your mum and grandmother used to write when you were humming and you were making these ditties as a kid? Have you ever flipped through them and you're like, oh, I thought you were a pretty good songwriter even back then? Is it?
I probably should. I'd have to find them, but they're somewhere.
But this has been something that you've done your entire life. You've filled up notebooks and upon notebooks.
Yeah,
at this
little
point.
melodies, vocal melodies.
Do you ever look back in even 3-4 years previously kind of flick through your notebooks and go, oh, actually that's really solid, I should probably bring that back? And have you kind of reimagined some of the songs that you wrote when you were younger?
Yeah, I have some songs from middle school that are awesome. I think they're kind of like, I don't even know what genre they are, what are genres, right? But they feel very emotional to me and kind of R&B-ish. So it's nice to go back and be like, that's my flavor. That's my OG flavor. And I get a little inspired. Yeah, that's my next goal, is to really be more confident and kind of looking back at those, revisiting those with the band. But, it's a vulnerable thing. These are songs that were written for myself. It's like songwriting it's private. For me, it's like, it's expression, it's coping, and it's a way of getting through the world and understanding the world. So it's like, do I want to show these to the world? Or do I want to, do a song that's less vulnerable? It's complicated.
I often ask people who come on the show, what was it like when they kind of displayed their first song to the world, or was ready to display their first song to the world. Not necessarily it was their first song they've written or whatever, but the first song that they played live in front of an audience. Now, you've done that since you were, 2. So, when was, the first,
performance?
conscious performance to maybe strangers, I guess, and of your own songs, and how was that for you, coming from such a musical family where it sounds like everyone does it?
Yeah, that's probably why it's scary, because they're all amazing. I've got some high bars I've got to climb. Yeah, middle school. Yeah, started in middle school as a 7th grader, probably doing them at all the talent shows and the coffee shows and open mics. Yeah, it felt great. I was very nervous, but everyone loved it, and I became like the piano twinkler and kind of a soulful singer.
Wow. And do you still kind of get? It sounds like you kind of still kind of maybe get that nervousness about kind of displaying your songs to the world. And how much of that is do you purposely try and write songs that are a little bit ambiguous, maybe aren't about a specific person or a specific moment in your life, in order to kind of give you that that wall and that shield, or are you kind of like I'll bare my soul to the world kind of person?
I think I took some time off from that, and now a lot's happened to me in the last year and a half. Some really hard grief, and actually both of these songs are grief songs. So you could say I'm ready now, to share that and kind of see what happens and express myself in that way. And it kind of feels like I'm showing a different side of my musicianship, a different singing flavor. Scary, but it feels good. And I'm lucky that I have a great group and a great community. So
Yeah, I mean, very talented musicians behind you.
yeah.
We would love to hear another song if you can treat us to one. That'd be great.
We're gonna do the other grief one by Bella, by me. This is called All These Pieces of Me. This is kind of a life review song. All these pieces of me make me who I wanna be, so perfectly, delicately me, and it's taken me time to figure out what's mine. All of this time with you on my mind. Someday I'll learn what it is I've earned, just being me, just being me. And all of the children that I've helped change will bring me sun and my darkest hours of pain. Someday I'll sing to you again, my oldest friend. I'll love you till the end. All these pieces of me make me who I wanna be, so perfectly, delicately me. And it's taken me time to figure out what's mine. All of this time with you on my mind. Le 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 le. Le 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 le. Le 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 le. Le le oui, lo le le.
All right, Bella and the Notables there
Yeah.
with All These Pieces of Me. So Bella, I again read on your bio that you're doing a master's in music therapy right now,
Yes.
which seems very apt. But with the focus on children with autism, has your studies had an impact on the way that you play and you write music? really studying this from an academic perspective, has that kind of like changed the way that you can approach songwriting?
Totally, yes. A lot of, yeah, so I'm doing music therapy and counseling through Leslie. My undergrad was just music and jazz was the concentration. So yeah, it's definitely looking, it's looking at a lot of self-awareness, identity, a lot of identity work, a lot of going back within myself and digging up a lot of vulnerable things and being very in the moment, present. I see you, I hear, I'm with you. That kind of really humanistic philosophy, looking at life and at myself and at others. And if I'm gonna help, children and other people do that, I need to be able to do it myself. And I think that's kind of why I think as a musician, as a helper, I'll make a good therapist, and a lot of blooming therapists are natural kind of helpers, right? In their life early on. We've all come, a lot of my classmates, we've all come at it from different places. I happen to be a musician as well. And yeah, I think it definitely does. I think it's brought some rawness. The second song you just heard came from an assignment. So,
Oh, no way.
thank you, homework, for that one. That was literally a life review assignment. And we do a lot of improvising. We call it clinical improvisation, and it's really being present. It makes me look at music in a whole new way. It's like instead of just kind of thinking about your sound and yourself, you're thinking about, and I feel like in jazz we already are doing a lot of connecting and trying to reach self-actualization and reaching these higher places. We're really in the moment, right? We're improvising, we're doing things that are spontaneous, but also in clinical improvisation and being with a human in a session, working with a child. You have to be really present. Yeah, it's about presence, understanding, listening to yourself, being aware of yourself. Is this me? Is this someone else? So it's a lot of awareness, a lot of identity work, being present in the moment, repeating myself. Yeah, I guess, does that make sense?
No, absolutely. And I guess as well is I'm kind of curious about whether or not the responses you get from the children you work with, whether or not you, based on their responses, the way that you then write music, it might be different as well, because you're kind of playing to a different audience, and you're not just playing to this audience, you're trying to engage them in also music itself. And so it's kind of looking at music and practicing music in a really different way. And whether or not that bleeds over into the Bella and the Notables, about when you're writing a song, are you now kind of writing it for that, the children that you're kind of working with, as well as writing it for the audience that you'd usually have?
That's an amazing question. I referenced them in that song.
Yeah.
Right? I said, what did I say? All the children that I have changed will bring me sun. Yeah, children are an amazing thing. They lift you up in the most surprising ways. I think... time will tell how much that bleeds into... But yeah, I think it does. I think everything you do in your life comes out some way musically when you're on stage and you're with other people. I think my way of interacting with them, I think my way of interacting with the audience is different. I would say I've been in school for about a year and a half, yeah.
So you've been in school for a year and a half, and this band has been in existence, or this band 2.0 has been in existence for about a year and a half. So you took these two projects on at the same time. That's quite a lot to bite off in one moment.
Yeah, gosh, yeah. My brain's been really full.
Yeah.
I take a lot of naps, and I have 3 amazing cats. They're very
cool.
relaxing. Yeah.
3 cats together are relaxing. We've got 2, and trust me, that... Very rarely I'd say they're relaxing. They're mostly yowling at each other and fighting.
They have their moments, yeah. We have an old man one. He's chill.
Okay. He keeps
kittens,
the other 2 in check.
Yeah, gosh. I don't know for your question about am I singing to the kids. I don't know. I think that there's some boundaries and divides at times where it is my time and where it's their time. Right. But in terms of if I'm in a session, therapy session, it's not about me, it's about them completely. And it's about our relationship, our rapport. So I think I've just gained a lot of really good skills about, probably with with you guys and with the audience about how do I bond, how do I build rapport.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's a really big skill for the therapy sessions. And again, like when I'm in that session, yeah, it's not the Bella show, it's the kid show. It's all about them. I am facilitating change and growth in them, and I'm assisting that through the medium is music. So it's different. Performing and the therapy is not the same, but they certainly bleed
Yeah.
into each other in how I'm growing and how I'm aware of things and interacting with other people. Yes.
And I mean, we kind of already mentioned your family, and I've got to say we loved Johanna coming on with Lavengula. That's how we first got interacted with Johanna, and then Johanna came on their own, which was just phenomenal. Love them. It certainly sounds like your family is a little bit different than a lot of other families. We know that Johanna lives in a treehouse, which is quite the adventure in and of itself. Do you all share these traits? Do you live in like in a school bus or something? Is this kind of something that just every single one of you in this family has your own kind of weird, cool adventure that sounds like it's coming from a storybook, or is that just the Johanna Rose kind of section of the family?
Yeah, that might be their kind of storyline right now in their life. I mean, gosh, yeah. I might be more typical, normal in how I do live in a house. I'm in Colchester, chilling. Before that, I did live with my sister and my family for a long time in a big farmhouse, East Montpelier. So we're very close knit. My other sisters do still live together, and so we're very tight knit. I think. Yeah, you could say we're maybe a little too close because we're always together. That's just how we've gone through life.
But you guys are all musical though, so it kind of just begs a question: you not thought of the Jackson 5 kind of scenario happening? Where you all get together and you play your own, you do the whole troupe doing all one big performance. Is that something that you've come across or you've explored?
There's so many of us. I mean, I have like 25 cousins. So yeah, my mom was one of 9. So, and some of them are more visual artists. I will say that.
So they're more likely to do the stage direction and the.
I think we all
that
just
kind of
have our own. Yeah, we all have our own bands, but it is kind of separated by family. So, like Johanna plays a lot with her siblings, Will and Helena. They're in Milwaukee, and I play often with my twin. And then I have some cousins that are in Colorado and California, and they kind of play together. I think we're separated by sibling band groups. We do come together every time there's a holiday since we were little. We grew up, again, like I said, like before we could talk, we were all together singing, humming, whatever you could do, whatever modality. So gatherings and holidays, that's kind of how we come together as a family. It's basically a giant sing along. So Christmas is really, really fun. It's really amazing. We just had a giant kind of get together with everybody. Unfortunately, it was for a kind of a sad event. It was for a celebration of life for our grandmother, but the entire family came together and we made some really beautiful music, and that's our way to cope and kind of navigate that and remember who we are and honor everybody in the family and the traditions that we have. So yeah, I think holidays, and whether they're sad or happy, bring us all together, and hopefully down the road we can try to do some more stuff as a big group. There's just a lot of us.
Yeah.
And a lot of the little cousins, my baby cousins, are now older, and they're in their 20s, and they're definitely moving places. A lot of songwriters, a lot of performers. So hopefully they don't forget about me, and I can come sing some backup.
You just need to grab those coattails, man.
I'm one of the OGs. Come on.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
It sounds like your grandmother was very much like the matriarch of this giant family, though. I mean, you said that she and your
very
mother
much
both were
matriarch.
kind of like writing down all these things. So is your grandmother also very musical? Is it all coming from the grandmother,
Yes.
basically?
Yes. Yep. I think so. Yeah. I have some music on my dad's side, but definitely, yep, we've all kind of followed her. Yes.
No, that's wonderful. I'm really glad that you kind of have that celebration of life. That sounds remarkable. I would have loved to be a fly on the wall when that production came together.
It was beautiful, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'd love to hear another song there if you've got another one in your hopper.
We're gonna do our jazzy ones now.
Wonderful.
We warmed you up. What do you want to start with? Okay. And this one is by Mr. Sam Atala. Sorry. Actually, I've seen this. Oh, whoops. Sorry. I'm a holder. Check. I think so. Okay. Here Without You by Sam. This is an amazing gem. You're going to love it.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Here, sitting with you is now the time. I tell you it's true. How can I help you catch all of my cues? Get back the time I wasted with you. Why can't you see that I need you? So crumbles without it. I cry like a fountain when the door closes behind you. Now you're far, and I'm here without you. I'm on the shelf, digging my tomb. How can I help you now? I'll say it soon. So baby, dwee, boo, 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 wee, dee, lay, 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 lay. So boo, boo, wee, boo, boo, wee, dee. So boo, boo, wee, boo, boo, wee, dee, dee. Boo, 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 wee, boo, dee, boo, wee, boo, wee, boo, wee. But later, every day, but wee, boo, wee, boo, wee, boo, wee, 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 boo, dee.
gorgeous. Here Without You by Bella and the Notables. Sam, great tune, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's fantastic. How much is this is a collaborative effort? Do you all bring tunes, or is it between you and Bella? How does this work?
I think this is the first one I brought in, I think, but hopefully everybody will start bringing some of their own tunes. I know Greg is in a band called The Discussions and writes a ton of stuff for that band. And I think they're playing this week. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
No, please do. Yeah, no, we like cross
They're
promotion
playing
here.
this
It's
weekend
good.
at the Radio Bean, so you should go see them.
They're very good.
Yeah. And Andrew, I don't know if you write tunes, but
Not so much.
not so much.
No.
Not so much. I just hit things with other things.
You do it very well, though. You know, you all play in different bands, so this is kind of like I don't know. Does anyone consider except you? This is your band, Bella, and everyone else. This is kind of everyone else's like side band, if you will. Is that right? Or
I guess.
Kinda.
That's one way to look at it.
what does this band do that kind of fills your cup? That maybe the other bands don't, or maybe you're a heavy rock fan or
I
something.
can go with this.
Yeah.
So this is one of the few jazz bands I'm playing in currently. I'm definitely playing in a bunch of different rock kind of outfits. Artie Levine, who is an old radio personality, I play with him. We are recording at the Tank this weekend, actually.
Nice.
So that's kind of more adult contemporary rock. He's an older dude, chill. We're not playing any heavy metal or anything.
Right.
We're playing some nice chill rock stuff. So I'm playing with him. Also play in a cover band called the Rough Suspects. We do have some originals as well, but mostly kind of play at biker bars.
Okay.
So I'll go from playing jazz one night with this crew to going to play a biker bar and playing like ZZ Top
Yeah.
and stuff like that on another night. And then I'm also in a Pearl Jam cover band. I also play some kind of intense jazz fusion stuff in another group called Ma Barber with Sam, Avery Cooper, and some other guys. Occasionally I play with Andriana Chobot. All said, at the end of the day, I'm kind of in and out of 5 or 6 bands.
When do you sleep?
When I'm dead.
Yeah. Do you ever have multiple gigs and multiple on like the same night? Do you ever
Absolutely,
go from
yeah.
one
There's
gig
been
to
a
the
few
next?
times where I've got to race from one gig to another, and it's like, okay, who can grab me from here? Or like, I got to have a drum set here and here, or
Yeah.
how's this gonna work, and whatnot. So it's definitely happened more than one time. I've had a few of the New Year's celebrations where I've had to play 3 shows all on New Year's. So it's like, okay, you got a 4 o'clock spot at this church with this band, and then you're at 7 p.m. here, and then you're at midnight over here. And you got to go from jazz to rock to funk all in one night.
Do you ever forget real quickly? As you might tell from my accent, English. Every now and then, it happens very rarely, but every now and then I forget that I'm meant to be driving on the right rather than the left, and I'll pull out right into the left-hand lane.
Oh my god.
Yeah, well, it's always
Doesn't
it's
usually
funny
happen,
when I
but
show
does
up
that-
I show up dressed like this to go play a biker bar.
Yeah.
Because I forgot what gig I was playing tonight. And
Yeah.
I'm like
You
wearing a
get beat
nice
up.
shirt. And you're like, what's this guy?
Let me just sort of rip this open real
You
quick.
think you're better than us?
You think so there's been some interesting times. It's a lot about being a drummer. Is a lot about wearing a lot of different hats.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like being an actor. Am I funny today? Am I serious today?
So, do you have like no one preference? It's kind of like I love all drumming, and so any of these
everything
bands
I
works.
play brings a different aspect of me.
Yeah.
Right. So what I get with this group is unique to playing with this group of 5 musicians, and when
Yeah.
I play with another group of musicians is unique to that group, and it allows me to take any facet of my personality. Some days I'm angry and I want to hit the drums like a monster.
Yeah.
And some days I want to try to play as chill and beautiful and back up a singer. So it all pulls different skill sets out of me, which I feel just makes me a more well-rounded drummer, and allows me to keep in the circuit hopefully.
Yeah. Sam and Greg, do you kind of agree with this kind of being an actor, and some days you want to kind of really go off on a slap bass solo, and then some days you're like, no, I'm gonna keep the rhythm for a jazz band.
Yeah, absolutely. And with this group, we play, besides these originals, we play a lot of like American Songbook and like traditional jazz, and like that really does it for me. I love all those old songs, and we get to reinvent them every night and like play through them. And it's not like in a funk band, which is also a lot of fun. I'll sit there and set like a bass line, and everyone else kind of runs around.
We're
it.
playing the song the same way every night when you're
Yeah.
in the funk band. Right?
Yeah, and then I can approach this and create like my approach to bass is like a little bit less traditional, where I'm not holding down a groove, where I can let the drums take it and kind of go off in my own little tangent, and like we're all kind of like working together to create something collectively.
Yeah.
So like that's what's different about this group that I really enjoy.
I noticed that as well, Bella. I mean, we've watched quite fair enough jazz bands. I don't often hear too much scat, to be honest, and it's great that you're bringing that in, and it's great that, you know, as a vocalist, you're also not kind of sticking to one path. Was this something that you always wanted to incorporate in your specific band, or is this something that's been new, that's been part of Bella the Notables 2.0 with this kind of scat element in it?
No, yeah, I've always been doing that since I mean, in jazz, if you're a singer, most often you're going to be improvising and scatting. Not all jazz singers scat, but almost all of them, and it's a way for me to be like, the voice is also an instrument, and it's my closest instrument. It's the thing I know that I've been experimenting with since I was little, so I know it pretty well, and it's I can't like really explain the feeling of like that spontaneous like feeling of when we're soloing, but it's like this giant release. It's like I'm like, sometimes I'm somewhere else. It's like kind of like electricity. It's like, it's very the feeling is just, it's addicting. It's like after we have a show, sometimes I feel exhausted because I feel like I let everything out, or like it's just I have nothing else. It's like it's a different way of expressing. But yeah, no, ever since Bella Notables were a thing, scat has been a thing, and I think over kind of the 6 years of like seriously gigging, it just has perfected itself. It's something you have to practice and learn and teach, and I kind of have my own syllables that I use, and I used to be really like worried about kind of if they were okay and traditional, and I realized that's just my flavor, and if they're a little soulful, even better. Everyone's got kind of their own scat, and it's just, it's been a thing since I think it's even better as a songwriter because you're already making up melodies, you're already playing with your voice and writing songs, so you could say that makes the scatting and improvising even easier because I'm used to already doing that and experimenting, but instead I'm paying attention to the keys and like the modes and the scales and like what they're doing, and I'm using my ear, so it's like it's a mixture of everything coming together, and like that scat, it's like one of the most amazing things ever, and it's really fun.
And as a vocalist, you kind of also get that experience the same way that the keys and the bass can kind of play off each other, or the lead guitar and the drums can play off each other. You've kind of got you get to that element as well. Yeah.
I find jazz to be a music of selflessness, where you're all working as a team and you're having more of a conversation on stage, versus in a lot of, say, rock bands or other bands, there's a lot of more ego and.
In a rock band, no. Don't say.
And everyone's a little more separated. It's a little more like, yeah, I'm playing guitar, I'm taking the solo, and there's a little more of that going on, which, I mean, ego and confidence can go hand in hand. You got to be confident. You got to be confident to get up in front of people, right? And so ego and confidence can go hand in hand. It's a double-edged sword there for sure. But I find with jazz that it's more of a community where we're playing for a whole sound. And it's less about who I am, and it's more about how do we work as a team to, like, how do I make you sound better? Like, it's more of a game of how do I make him sound better when he's soloing, or him sound better when he's soloing than what I do on my solo.
Right.
Like, you know, like, it's more of, especially, I guess, being a drummer is a very supportive role.
Right.
But I just find that it's more of a shared musical sensibility, as opposed to, like playing funk, and we're playing the song, and it's kind of as written, and we're, you know, rocking or whatever. But there's not that in touch, like really intimate, being in the here and now and responding off of like a little riff he played and I'm responding and whatnot. Yeah. So I just find it very communicative and really selfless, I guess.
And I fought really hard as a singer to be like, I am not up here. Like, I don't like even being really separated from them. Like, I'm a part of the band. I'm just like a horn in how I use my instrument, and, you know, singers are just as equal in that kind of jazz frame, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It does seem that you kind of give space for each instrument and support for each instrument, including the vocals, and it's not just so front and center as you may see in other kind of genres. we've not got too much time left, but I want to ask about Radio Bean on the weekend, and this is a different band playing. Where is Bella the Notables playing in the next few weeks, and where can we find you if we can't see you live?
Friday. We're playing at the 126, formerly known as the Deli 126. We have a monthly residency there, so every second Friday you can catch us there. Again, we're doing jazz standards from the American Songbook. We're throwing in some country, some blues, some kind of R&B soul stuff, bossa nova. It's really a mix, and we're even working to bring more into the mix. So that's kind of what we have scheduled now, Friday, and then next month, second Friday. And then we kind of all bounce around and do our own things as well.
Yeah, and how about socials? Are you going to be? Is there any kind of any tracks recorded and on the Spotifys and the Bandcamps and whatnot, or is that to come later down the line?
Not yet, but to come. We've all been really busy, and I've been kind of in a place in my life where I was kind of stepping back from this and working more on my studies and healing, growing, and now I'm like itching to, I think we're ready, and it's been kind of enough time of us building and working off of those standards to really branch off into thinking about that. You guys have a bunch of projects you're doing with your original stuff right now, so once that boils down, I'll start being like, hey, let's. But
Gonna say,
yeah.
none of you are strangers to a recording studio, it seems. So I'm sure it will happen eventually, and I'm very excited for when it does. And when it does, please come in. Once you got an album together, please come back in again. We'd love to hear some tracks from the album.
Time is right.
But yeah, we've got about time for one more song. So what have we got to play us out with?
This is mine. Kind of my standard I wrote. This Love Inside Our Dreams. I wrote this in college. Okay. And then you guys will come in on the second A. Cool. Okay. Was that my C? It's... Okay. It's not as easy as it seems. Shabby-bidoo-wee, this love inside our dreams. If only
right, Bella and the Notables playing us out there with Love Inside Our Dreams. Guys, thank you so much for coming in. This was lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you
for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Please come back in once you got something down in a recording studio. We'd love to hear what your first album sounds like.
Our pleasure.
Well, that's, as I said, that's all we've got time for this evening. Join us next week when we got some big heavy world favourites, Laces, coming in. But for now, this has been WOMM-LP operating out of Burlington, Vermont, 105.9 The Radiator. It's been The Rocket Shop. I've been your host, Tom Proctor, and good night.